Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maheen Naveed. I'm here on ZABFM Digital for Meet and Talk. I am a third-year undergraduate student. My program is Social Sciences and my major is International Relations. And I'm here with Dr. Fizza Batool, who is Cluster Head of IR. Dr. Fizza Batool, would you introduce yourself?
So as you mentioned, I am the assistant professor at SZABIST University, my specialization in international relations. As my role, I believe it's more like a global tour guide. I basically empower my students to understand the fascinating complexities of the global world. And I think that's the introduction I can give.
Okay, all right. So can you tell us about what initially drew you to IR in general and then to teaching international relations in Pakistan?
So my journey is a bit different from what people usually expect. I graduated in natural sciences. I did my BS with mathematics, astronomy, physics, fields which are very different from international relations. And a lot of the students who are listening at present, they can relate because I was a high achieving student. So there was a social pressure to study what we usually call trending subjects, trending fields, which make you earn a lot. But I made a tough choice. I decided to study social sciences because, I would be honest, I do like physics, atoms, equations, they do still fascinate me. But human society, it was far more complex. And I realized that equations are logical, but you cannot apply any logic to human choices. So logically, it appears far better for India and Pakistan to have good relationships, but we don't follow logic as such. So that was my main interest point. Why are India and Pakistan behaving the way they're behaving? And so I took a gap year and then I joined international relations. I did my master's and PhD. Recently I did my postdoc. So I've never regretted this decision, not even once, because I believe I'm doing what I enjoy, but also I've built a very good career path. I have a secure job. I did one fellowship in Washington DC with the Stimson Center. Then I did another fellowship and my postdoctoral fellowship at Central European University, which is, again, it's a very reputable institution. So it was all possible, it was all made possible because I made a tough decision and I didn't follow the crowd, I chose what I wanted to do. And this is what I want all other students out there to choose, to make choices based on what interests you, what is more fascinating for you, and not just follow the crowd.
Okay, yes, I think that's very inspiring to students, especially because a lot of students in our society in general are given very, I think, limited options. So it's inspiring to hear of your career trajectory and just how successful you've been in that trajectory. So if we come to current affairs, right, and how the phenomena is and how situations are evolving currently, we've seen how quickly misinformation can spread, especially during times of regional tension or conflict. So what can you say to students listening about how IR, the field of IR, can teach them to filter that information or to be, more literate and more informed when they're reading news pieces or statements by foreign secretaries or politicians, etc. How can they learn to filter out what is misinformation, what is disinformation, and what is malinformation?
I think India-Pakistan war is the textbook case, the recent May standoff. It's a textbook case to understand how misinformation is spread, because apart from what was happening on the strategic front, on the diplomatic front, most of what was happening was in the digital space, and we were seeing meme wars. And I was out of country and I came to know about this attack on Karachi airport, and then I contacted my family and came to know that there was nothing.
Yeah.
And people were celebrating on social media. So obviously this is the perfect example to understand how misinformation is now part of our political narrative. And much before this advent of AI generated content and this technology that is pivotal in this spread of misinformation, Pakistani students, IR students all over the world, they were studying information warfare. They were familiar with this concept. So we have been talking about this. We are training our students to understand how misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, all these are different concepts that we teach to our students, how they spread. Because, you know, we equip our students to understand the source of information, and to understand that there are always certain motives behind whatever you see in the headlines. So we're not making students just consumers of the headlines, but to see who is speaking, what is being said, and why. And why is a particularly important question. And at ZABIST, we train our students based on research. We pay a lot of attention to research. So we teach students the process of source verification, cross verification. So don't rely on just one source. See what others are saying, and then confirm that it's a valid source. It's not something that has started on WhatsApp and then spread to the world. And this is important because IR students are to work in media houses, foreign offices, they are to work in government agencies, international NGOs. So for IR students, this is very crucial to separate fact from fiction. So this is something that we do teach as students.
And especially within the regional context, right? Especially for Pakistani students, to know how to, you know, separate actual factual information, the truth, as opposed to from disinformation and then misinformation, because we do get a lot of that in our media as well. So it's important as citizens to be empowered enough to do that fact checking, that source verification by yourself, and then, as you mentioned, the degree equips you to do that.
I mean, I 100% agree. Pakistan sits at a geopolitical crossroads. So we get information from all around us. Is a different source of informations, providing different types of perspectives. And we need to be able to separate and to understand what Iran is saying, what India is saying, what China is saying, and what US is saying, and to understand the motives behind that. Also, I believe that for IR students, this is not just about the issue of national security. It is about national security, because if you cannot, if you just follow misinformation, you're going to make wrong decisions. And but also, apart from national security, it's about the global peace, regional peace, because if you give emotional responses to misinformation, you're leading world towards a very dark place, and which is something that we try and discourage among the students.
I mean, it's true, right? Because you see politicians themselves sharing unknowingly, perhaps, disinformation on Twitter, on Facebook, mostly Twitter, right? So that is the danger that poses, as you mentioned. So then it becomes even more important, again, like you mentioned, to empower students specifically to know that, okay, this is something that my politician is saying. Is it true?
Yes.
Or is it something that they knowingly or unknowingly are sharing that is untrue, right? That is fabricated. Okay. So, you know, we're, again, like we've already established, we're living through unprecedented times, a multipolar world order, many say, with shifting alliances, emerging powers, and complex global challenges like climate change. And we live, obviously, in an era of increasing economic interdependence. How does studying international relations theory specifically help students become informed global citizens who can navigate and then contribute to this evolving global order?
Yeah, multipolarity is new reality. US is no more a sole superpower. We are seeing rise of China, Russia, India, Brazil, and a lot of Middle Eastern powers, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, they are getting empowered. So it's no more a single unipolar world. And as an IR students, you need to understand this chaos, because you as an IR graduate, you need to untangle these complex realities to understand each country's national interest, their perspectives, whatever is happening around you, why. And IR theory is critical for that. For instance, if you're seeing things from the realist perspective, you need to focus on the power relationships and the alliances between the states. If you're seeing things from the liberal perspective, then cooperation, peace, role of international organizations, norms, they become important. If you're seeing things from constructivist perspective, which is a very trendy perspective at present in IR, you'd realize that everything, power, cooperation, everything is a construct. All social realities are a construct. So states make choices based on their own values, their shared identity, their shared history, cultural reality. So a lot of factors comes in. And for instance, take climate change, for instance. If a realist look toward this issue, they will see the competition for resources. For a liberal, it's an opportunity for cooperation, because we all are facing similar climate change issues. For a constructivist, this human-centric perspective of the world that we have been promoting for such a long time, this is important. We need to realize that humans are not the center of the universe, and the universe has a cyclic relationship with humans. So theory is not just about abstract ideas. Theory is a practical information. You need to apply it to the real world situation. And IR theories, what is important about IR theories, it's a relatively recent field. So we have theories borrowed from sociology, from economics, from political science, and it's a very comprehensive field, and we try and understand things from multiple perspectives. This is what IR students can do, what other social sciences students might not be able to do. We can have a broader horizon to understand things.
Yeah, it's multidisciplinary in that sense. Yes. So, naturally, when students start thinking about theory and application, they start thinking about future prospects, career prospects, right? So because this is a natural question that even parents have, right? What are the career prospects that you would want, again, students listening to know about IR?
Mostly students used to do graduation in IR because they wanted to pursue a career in bureaucracy. So they usually want to do CSS and then join Foreign Office usually, but other bureaucratic offices as well, because IR is a compulsory subject if you want to do a CSS examinations. But it's a very versatile field, and plus from the first day when we teach students the first class of introduction to IR I teach students to understand that IR is not just about a specific type of information, it's also about a specific methodology to look at the world. So we always have a zoomed out, a bird's eye view of the world. We focus not just on individual but to states, because we're focusing on the world, not just a particular country. And so when you're trying to find a job, you need to zoom out. You need to find opportunities outside the city, outside this country, and there are multiple opportunities available. I understand some students wish to stay in Karachi or in Pakistan, and that's okay. There are opportunities within Karachi as well. But if you're an IR graduate, I encourage you to find opportunities abroad. Some of the fields that which are very relevant for IR are media houses, particularly if you want to join international media houses. This is an excellent opportunity because they always need perspectives from Pakistan, and Pakistan is not very in the global media, and mostly you hear stories about Pakistan from Indian journalists, which is which I believe you should be able to discourage. Obviously you have to apply for that. And then there are international NGOs, United Nations, and all their agencies. There are embassies. They need students who have better understanding of diplomacy. So we train students about diplomatic relationships, so they are better equipped to join embassies. And then there are several research think tanks, global, also local. There is PIIA, CSSS, and a few other think tanks within Karachi. There are many think tanks in Islamabad if you can move to other city. And because the world has now shifted towards online platforms, so there are multiple magazines where you can write. There are multiple think tanks where you can publish your policy papers, research papers, and they are usually paid. So there are opportunities. You just need to, broaden your horizon. You need to focus not just within Karachi, but also in Islamabad, outside country. There are both online and offline opportunities available.
Right. Yes. And then just like be more open to these opportunities as well. Yes. So we've been zooming out. Let's zoom back a little bit on ZABIST, and then talk about how specifically the IR program at ZABIST is, different from like other options within the city or also like within the country. And then how does this program ensure that its students graduate with not just theoretical knowledge, but with like cross communication skills? We mentioned, the media literacy, news literacy. How does this program ensure that its students are well-rounded graduates?
Okay, so at the campus, at the Karachi campus at ZABIST University, we have all PhD faculty. The permanent faculty is all PhD. We have visiting researchers, we visiting lecturers and other scholars as well. And we make sure that, because IR, as I mentioned, it's a very diverse field. We study economics, we study geography, we study foreign policy analysis, political science, democratization. So we try and have a faculty with diverse research interests. So I am more of an expert on comparative politics, democratization. Dr. Umar here is an expert in domestic politics of Pakistan and the political institutions, political parties, political participation. Then we have Dr. Mustafa, who is an expert in foreign policy analysis. Dr. Salim is more of a strategic studies person. So we have a diverse faculty. Apart from that, as a cluster head, I would emphasize that every student should have a good understanding of research. This is something that I think is missing from a lot of universities in Pakistan. I have a background in research organization. I joined academia before that. I was doing work in policy institutions. So I want my students to have that diverse experience as well. So do not just focus on academia. Plus we focus on regional expertise. So we have specific courses on different regions, and we want students to specialize, to decide which region they want to specialize in. Some students would be would have a special expertise in Middle East, maybe some in Latin America, some in Europe, and this is important for their career as well. So this is something that we try and focus on: research, critical thinking. And yes, one thing that is different about the IR program in ZABIST than other university, most of the social sciences programs and IR programs in other universities are very qualitatively driven. So the research is usually qualitative, theoretical. There is not much attention to empirical research. There is not much attention to quantitative research. But most of the career opportunities, fellowship opportunities outside Pakistan are based on your understanding of new technology, quantitative analysis, use of large language models. So this is something that we emphasize here. We, in our research methodology course, we have a specific lessons to teach students how to use SPSS, how to apply quantitative analysis, and global data. So this is important, and this is something that I feel that a student should be able to understand.
Yes, absolutely. That's very crucial. I think if a program can equip you with all the technological changes that are happening with respect to your field, I think that's a huge strength. So, I think we can wrap this up, because we've covered a lot of things, answered, I think, a lot of questions that prospective students have that they might not know how to word. And sort of like we've covered the program, I think, in a lot of depth. But is there any additional information that you would like to tell students listening in, just like key information about like related to deadlines or prerequisites, or any unique opportunities that the program might offer in terms of like internships or maybe any other requirements? Just any information that you haven't covered yet.
Yeah, we are in the phase 2 of the admission cycle. So if you're planning to apply to SZABIST, you need to hurry up, because July 17 is the deadline to submit the forms. Then I can tell students about the process. There will be entry test, which will be around July 21 to 25, and then the results will be announced on July 25. And then there will be, if you're shortlisted, then we will have interviews, and if you're shortlisted in the interviews as well, then the merit list and waiting list will be in, I think, in mid-August. You will be sure that whether you got the admission or not. So you need to hurry up. You need to apply the forms quickly. Classes usually begins in September. And the eligibility, you must have intermediate or A-level degree. In the O-levels, if you're from O-level, then you must have at least 8 subjects, and if you're doing A-level, then at least 3 subjects. And 50% grades are required to be eligible to apply. This is it about the program. As I mentioned, it's a social science program with a specialization in IR. So in the early 2 years, in fact, early first year. In the first year, you can decide if you feel that you're more interested in economics or sociology or IR. So you can decide if you can join the social science program, and it's a multidisciplinary program, and you have the choice to choose your specialization. After you will be taught all fields, all subjects in the first year, second semester, and then you will decide your specialization. So it's also something that's different in ZABIST than other universities. We have, as I mentioned, we have a strong emphasis on research. So if you're someone who is interested in understanding real world problems, then join ZABIST. We conduct a lot of guest speaker session, public speaking session, so you will have opportunity to build network. And one thing that I think I should encourage students, if you join IR as a subject, try and start planning your career early. So start writing in different blogs, start writing, and we are here to guide you. We can tell you about the platforms to write, have some strong global presence through social media, write about global issues, whatever opinions you have, and you will be able to have some certain opinions once you are in the program, because you will be learning about those things. So if you're starting early, if you're planning early, I'm sure you will get a good job once you're done with your degree.
Okay, so as a student, I can personally attest to how helpful the faculty are, and how you have this unique opportunity at ZABIST to really establish a rapport with your faculties, and that is especially helpful when you're in third year and you have to pick an advisor. So just that is my closing remark. Is just that as a student, I can attest to almost everything that Dr. Fizza has said here today. I can also add that my experience with the faculty has been pretty generally really, really great. And Dr. Fizza, do you have any closing remarks?
No, thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for making me share my own experiences with the students out there. And I wish best of luck to all the students who are applying at present.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Fizza. It's been a pleasure having you here. I hope everyone who's listening has learned as much from you as I have being actually taught by you. And we can wrap this up here. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.